So, good afternoon, Rabbi Feigenbaum.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Just out of curiosity, because you're joining me today in support of the Jewish Federation's annual community campaign, and with the challenges that we're all facing, including yourself at Or HaTorah, why are you so supportive of the Jewish Federation's annual community campaign?
I can give several answers to that question. The first and foremost answer is that the Federation is really working very hard on being a unifying force to the entire community, and they're unifying force in many different ways. First and foremost is that they are the fundraising arm of the community, and they do incredible work with that. Our schools, our Jewish Family Service, JCC, many of our organizations receive an incredible amount of funding from the Federation, funding that without them they wouldn't exist, and we would have a very, very different looking community, a very sad looking community if without them. So that's first and foremost. And second, the crisis that we're in right now, and being part of the health crisis management team and being asked to be on that and really getting a look at behind the scenes as to what's going on, and the care and concern, not only for the institutions, but for the individuals. That just rings so well with me. And it's something that I think is so special and really is deserving of a lot of support.
Thank you. That's means a lot, and means a lot coming from you, especially because I too have enjoyed the opportunity to work with you on this health crisis management team, and it's really been a pleasure to get to know you.
Yeah, it's been something that's very special. The camaraderie that's been built through the team, but much more of the camaraderie. It's just the care and the concern. I can tell you, people have reached out to us and say, okay, we have X, and how can we help with X? And whether it was meals before Passover, when there was just such panic, and such fright, and people were literally afraid to leave their homes, and to find out, okay, we can help them by getting meals that the JCC is providing, able to get that to them and to deliver it to them, was just something that was so special. And that's one. I don't want to say small example, because there was nothing small about it, but it's just one example of many of how the community has come together through the leadership of the Federation, through your leadership, Mariam, of coming together and to be there to support, again, the institution and the individual.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And during this time, and it's been a challenging time, so can you share a little bit about what's happening at Or HaTorah and in the community?
So Or HaTorah, and among all the Orthodox shuls, we closed down, had been closed and went virtual for numerous months. I don't know how many times I've said this, that when I went into the rabbinate, I never thought I would be working remotely. I never thought such a thing could exist. No, we're there shaking hands and giving hugs and being there for people and teaching and davening and praying together and having services together. We're going to be virtual. It doesn't work. It's mind-boggling, and it has been a real challenge. It's been a real challenge finding ways of connecting and finding different ways to connect with people, and still allowing them to know that we're still in existence. We're still here. We may not have our building, we may not be able to be physically together, but we're still here, and we're still here for you. And that has been a challenge. It has been both a challenge and it's been rewarding. But we've been able to I think get through it. We actually over the last week started services again inside of our building with masks, with social distancing, things that now seem very normal. But knowing that there's nothing normal about this, but it is a great feeling to be back and to be able to have some services. We have emphasized the message that if you're not comfortable, if you have any concerns, then you still should not come. We want you, but don't compromise your feelings. But we're back, quote unquote, back in business.
That's great to hear, and I hope it's for all of us, and as we all begin to enter, that it is sustainable.
Yeah.
And one of the things as I talk about that is about what's kept us going during very challenging and difficult and trying times is we've also shared around that table some silver linings that we've all experienced. One in particular for you?
It's a great question, because there really are a lot. As a people, we're no strangers to crisis. We've gone through many crises, and in our lifetime, we've never had a crisis like this. But we've all gone through crises, and again, as a people, you look to our history, we've gone through so many crises. I think what crises brings out in people, which has been a silver lining to me, is that you see their strength. You see the strength of the individual and the strength of the community. I think so many people have brought out from within them areas of growth, in areas of kindness that they didn't know they had. And they were able to, those things were able to come out. Again, whether it was people running to stores to help people who are homebound, or it was just the phone calls. It was just, okay, you know what, this person is probably lonely and I'm gonna reach out to them. So many, again, little stories that are not little, that just were inspirational to me. People reaching out to me, you know, and saying, you know, wow, we appreciate what you're doing. People reaching out to each other. I think there's so much of that went on. We've had to look inward and reassess so much of how we function. And certainly as a shul, there was nothing normal how we function. Usually it's in person. You're there, you know, someone isn't well, you go visit them. You can't do that. You can't go visit them. So you have to be able to find other ways, and the innovation that came out of it. Some of it I hope really sticks. I hope as we move on from the crisis and we get back to quote unquote to normal, that some of the ways that we've realized and the strengths that we've realized that we have inside of us, that lasts and that stays with us.
I agree. I hope so too. And we're seeing that also at the Federation and in other organizations at which we share when we're around the table. I am absolutely surprised, pleasantly, and so moved by people who are contributing, for example, to the Federation's annual community campaign at whatever level that they can, whether it's $18 or $180 or $1,800, it doesn't matter. The feeling of really knowing now more than ever how we need to come together as a community and as a total community. And so I thank you for sharing those messages with us today and with me today. And I have to say, I so greatly, and I've shared this with you, and I'm going to share it with those in your community, is that I look forward, and I know when it's time for me to unplug when I get your Shabbos message every Friday, and it grounds me and it brings meaning, and it reminds me of the relationships that have developed due to or in spite of the COVID-19. So thank you for everything that you're doing for your synagogue, everything that you're doing for the community, everything that you're doing for us. And so I look forward that we can always be here for everyone and be here for the community and be here for good. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Really,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.